Hello, it is September 1st, and welcome to this weather update. Uh, we are going to just, again, update you on the situation. We have several, developing weather situations going on here. The first thing, obviously, we want to get to is what's left of Harvey, which is starting to move in our direction, as you can see. Amazing how long, this thing has been affecting the country for a week already. It's crazy. And look at how slow it has moved. This is not normal. I don't know how anyone could call that a normal occurrence in the atmosphere, because it's not normal for a storm to just sit over the same area and cause so much misery for so many people. And so now it is starting to move up in our direction. And yes, we had some cirrus around today. It wasn't completely cloudy, but there was some cirrus, particularly in the afternoon. You could see what's left of it moving in our direction, and looks like some heavier convection over here. So I'm going to start with the satellite view of what's left of Harvey, and then we're going to move on to Irma, and that's my main concern right now. First, we're looking at a satellite view here of Irma, which looks like it's weakened a little. You can see how it was really strengthening. It was looking good. Well, bad, but good. And now you can see the eye's kind of raggedy. See how nice and they did shift from from visible to infrared, but you can see how the eye is definitely looking a little raggedy here, and that is indicative of maybe some weakening or it's not strengthening because it's over cooler water right now. But it will be moving over warmer water as it moves west, and it is forecast to strengthen. So let's go ahead and look at what the Hurricane Center has for this. Okay, so this is the Hurricane Center's advisory. Right now, the winds are at 120 miles an hour. Its movement is west at 13. And it is a major hurricane, and it is forecast to become even stronger, possibly up to Category 4 strength. Because right now it's not really going to strengthen too much, but as it moves further west, you'll see in the models that it's going to strengthen quite a bit. So this is definitely a pretty significant hurricane that really bears intense watching. So we're going to look at now some of what the forecast models have to say about this storm, the future, perhaps possible future of where the storm is going to go. The first model that we're going to look at, of course, is the GFS. And the GFS is going back and forth as to where this thing was, the 6C run had it recurving out to sea. Now it's this back to a direct hit on our area again. So let's take a look and see what it's going to do here. You can see the remnants of Harvey. We're probably not going to get all that much rain from it. Maybe we will, but these things generally, especially once they get east, they usually start falling apart. But we'll have to see. It's unpredictable. That's the nature of tropical systems. You can see that there's that high that we had that built down, gave us the nice day today. That's moving away, and once what's left of Harvey pulls away, we're going to have another high build in over the southwest. Yeah, well, it's where I live. We're going to have another, not the southwest, the southeast. Well, not really southeast. It's going to be building over like the, I don't know, you could say it's Carolinas, Virginia, West Virginia area. So it'll give us a westerly flow. It won't be that humid to start on Monday, but it will be a summery day. Dew points probably around 55 to 60. Highs definitely ranging from 78 to 82, whatever. But this here on the right-hand side of your screen, that's Irma. Now, what's going to happen here, and this is all dependent on this. It has this huge Atlantic ridge building in here. And the problem with this Atlantic ridge is it's not going to let it recurve out to sea like it's supposed to. And we have a front. You can see we have a Canadian air mass building in around middle of next week. But this front is going to, because of this damn ridge, this front is going to stall out. It's back to that again. And what's going to happen here is this front stalls out, and we're stuck in a stall front syndrome here for Thursday and Friday. And this is Irma, which is continuing to strengthen. And it literally just, it steers this like a little highway right here between this high and this high that's going to steer Irma right in the middle and right in at our area, taking a track very similar to Superstorm Sandy, and it has it as a much stronger hurricane than Sandy. So if this were to verify, it would be a major disaster for our area. But of course, this is over a week in the future, and at this extreme long range, the models are not really very consistent. As you can see, I don't know why it has that huge ridge building there like that. That I can't figure out for you. After it leaves, then I guess we'd have some fair weather. And then there's another storm that develops, spins up another one over here, and that one hits Florida. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really in the distance in the future, but certainly there is a potential, and it could be a very small potential, that we could be looking at a major hurricane hitting our area by, say, next weekend, Sunday or something like that. But it's just a potential. It all depends on the strength of this freaking ridge that shouldn't even be here. It shouldn't even be here. This ridge is way too strong, in my opinion. That's really anomalous to have a ridge like that, but it sets it up around Tuesday or so, and you can see what it does with the track. Originally it tracks west, and then it sort of gets picked up into this weakness right here, right over our area, which is like a little highway for the storm to hit our area there. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen. I'm going to look at the upper air just to give you an example of that ridge again that's going to build. So you can see here, there's Irma, and there's that damn ridge that's blocking it from going out to sea like it's supposed to. Atlantic ridges are something, strong Atlantic ridges like this are indicative of climate change, indicative of messed up steering patterns in the atmosphere. It's definitely something to be concerned about. That's one model, though. That's the GFS. I'm going to go ahead and look at the Canadian now. And we're going to go back to this. All right. This view here, the precip. And let's see what it does with Irma. Let's see what it does. It does this. Let's see. It looks like it brings the front through, but Irma misses the trough, and yeah, it has it moving much slower. That's one thing I noticed, but it still could impact our area. I don't know. It looks like to me like a recurvature or maybe brushing the Carolinas, but it's only going as far out as 240 hours. That's the Canadian model, which is not a reliable model. That's all I have to say. GFS is more reliable. Let's see what the Euro has with this thing. All right. So let's see what the Euro has. There's Irma. And it has a really strong Atlantic ridge. You could see that Atlantic ridge again. You see it's setting up the stalled front over our area Thursday, and then it does seem to build in another high over our area and brings the front through. And then it looks like that Irma would go under that high. So, but it looks like it's aiming more here again. So this is actually matching the Canadian a little more than the GFS, which is a completely different solution. So that's what the models have, and this has been this little update. I don't want to make it a long update. Just keep your eyes on the models and Irma. It may be a fish storm, but it may also be a major disaster. It all depends on the strength of this ridge, and you better hope that this ridge is either very weak and it recurves out to sea, or very strong and it pushes it not in our area and it pushes it into Florida or something. But I don't really wish a storm on anyone. The main thing I want is this thing to recurve out to sea like most Cape Verde storms are supposed to do. That's what the majority of them are supposed to do. But when you have a big blocking ridge that's anomalous due to climate change, that is something that we all need to be concerned about and that bears watching. And once again, our prayers are with Texas, what they're going through right now. And also a lot of other states are suffering too from Harvey. Harvey has brought a lot of misery to a lot of people, and our prayers are with them.